All right, let's talk about something huge. We're going to pull back the curtain on a massive global industry, one that, from the outside, looks modern and shiny, but on the inside, well, let's just say it's running on fumes. We're going to explore how it really works, and then look at a new, principled way to rebuild it from the ground up. Let's get into it.
So let's just start with a number. A really, really big number. $400 billion. Get your head around that. That's how much the global offline advertising market is worth every single year. You know, all those ads you see on billboards, buses, and shopping malls. Yeah, that's a $400 billion industry.
But here's the crazy part, the paradox. This modern giant, this $400 billion machine, is basically held together with duct tape and string. Seriously, the actual processes that make it all run are incredibly, almost laughably outdated.
So what does outdated actually look like? Well, imagine this. The whole industry, right now, still runs on phone calls, personal relationships with brokers, pricing that's completely hidden. It changes depending on who's asking. And deals are still being closed over email, with, you guessed it, PDF attachments. The whole thing is built on this kind of informal handshake trust, which just doesn't work when you're talking about this kind of scale.
Okay, so now we're going to dig a little deeper. Let's talk about the problem, and more importantly, the insight. We need to get past all the surface-level frustrations and find the real bottleneck that's holding everything back. And look, for any business out there, especially a small one, trying to get an ad on a billboard it's a nightmare. There's no single place to even find what's available. The pricing, totally opaque. You have to book everything manually through an agent. And a lot of the time, you don't even get proof that your ad was actually put up. And maybe the worst part, the person who designs your ad is totally separate from the person who sells you the space. It's a mess.
Now, all of those are serious problems, for sure. But what if they're just symptoms? What if they're not the root cause? What is the real reason that literally millions of ad campaigns with real money and real goals just die before they even get started?
And this is the key. This is the big distinction. Most people look at this and think, okay, the problem is that booking the ad space is hard. And yeah, it is, but that's not the real bottleneck. The true barrier, the thing that stops everything in its tracks, is actually getting the creative content, the ad itself, made. Think about it. If you're a small business, where do you even start to find a designer who's reliable, affordable, and knows the exact technical specs for a giant billboard? That creative gap, that's what stops campaigns cold. So it all comes down to a really simple equation. No creative equals no campaign. It sounds almost too obvious, right? But understanding that this is the fundamental roadblock, that's the key. That's what unlocks this entire market. If you can't get the ad made, you can't book the space. Simple as that. You have to solve for the creative first.
Okay, so once you see that, the solution becomes clear. It's not about adding another feature or a new tool. You need a truly integrated system. You need to move from just features to full-stack workflows. You need basically an operating system for the entire industry.
And here's what that actually looks like in practice. Imagine a single platform that owns the entire process, from start to finish. Step 1, you discover the ad space. Step 2, you get the creative designed right there. Step 3, you book it. Step 4, you get confirmation of installation. And Step 5, you can actually verify that the job was done correctly. It's all in one place, one seamless system.
And this is all built on a really powerful philosophy. The idea is that you can't fix a fundamentally broken industry just by patching it up with a few new features. It doesn't work. The only way to fix it is to rebuild and own the entire workflow. That's how you go from confusion and back-and-forth negotiation to clarity, transparency, and just execution.
But you know, a great solution is one thing. You also need a brilliant strategy to bring it to life. So let's talk about how you build a real defensible business out of this, using two classic concepts, the market wedge and the competitive moat.
Right, so you can't just go after a $400 billion market all at once. It's impossible. So the strategy starts with a wedge, a focus point of entry. And in this case, that wedge is billboards. Now, why billboards? Well, think about it. They're relatively easy to standardize. The ownership is really fragmented, so there's no big player to fight. Demand is always strong, and the sales cycles are fast. And most importantly, it lets the platform tap into existing vendors to solve that classic cold start supply problem.
So once that wedge gives you traction, you start building your moat. That's your long-term defensible advantage that competitors can't just copy. And what is the moat here? It's the creative marketplace.
By building in design tools, templates, and a whole marketplace for freelance designers, the platform becomes the #1 destination not just to book ads, but to create them. And that is a powerful position to be in. It's incredibly hard for anyone else to replicate.
Now, this is where things get really interesting, because this isn't just about smart business tactics. It's about building a business that operates with a deep sense of responsibility. It's about aligning commerce with foundational guiding principles.
And at the very heart of this entire model is the principle of amana. Amana is a profound Arabic term. It means trust, but it's more than that. It's a sacred trust, a responsibility to fulfill your obligations with absolute integrity and accountability. It's a promise that you are ethically, even spiritually, bound to keep. This isn't just a feel-good mission statement, it's the operational core of the entire system.
And this slide just lays it out so clearly. Every business practice is directly linked to a core Islamic principle. Transparent pricing, that's about avoiding gharar, which means preventing deception or extreme uncertainty in a deal. Making this accessible to small businesses, that serves the principle of maslaha, or acting for the public good. And the proof of installation we talked about, that is a direct application of amana, that's sacred trust and accountability. It's a complete, integrated framework for ethical commerce.
And when you build on a foundation like this, the outcome is really profound. It's about more than just profit. It's about building an entire ecosystem that creates halal, that is, permissible and righteous income for everyone involved. The vendors who own the ad space, the designers who create the artwork, and the entrepreneurs who use the platform to grow their businesses.
So as we wrap this up, it's clear that this is about so much more than just fixing an inefficient market. The ambition here is far greater. This is about building infrastructure. It's about creating the foundational systems that empower other people to build, to create, and to thrive.
And if we look at history, we see this pattern over and over again. It's the people who build the underlying systems, the operating systems, the marketplaces, the infrastructure. They are the ones who ultimately shape entire industries, sometimes for generations to come.
And this brings us to a final, really powerful call to action, one that's aimed at the Ummah, the global Muslim community. And it's this. The Ummah doesn't just need more ideas. It needs builders. It needs people who execute. It needs people who do the hard, necessary work of turning a powerful vision into a tangible reality.
This analysis has been presented by the Nooran Institute. We ask Allah to make this work a source of benefit and guidance for us all. Thank you for joining us.